What's up, fam? Your boy Heaven Hollywood back. This is the IE Network, and we are going to do our full review to the album In Pieces by none other than Miss Chloe Bailey. So, this album, as you all know, there was a lot of controversy coming out. There was a stoppage in play at one point that later on we figured out that we had got revealed that Chloe scrapped her entire first album. So this album In Pieces is literally put together in pieces. There was a couple of songs that she had, but then there's other songs that were added to In Pieces and was totally scrapped. If you notice, Have Mercy's not on In Pieces. If you notice, Treat Me's not on in Pieces, right? And there's songs and Surprise is not on In Pieces. So what she revealed was this album was supposed to be about full circle heartbreak. And she said somewhere along the line she lost that. Probably listening to people online, listening to different, feeding into, which she admits that she does a lot, feeding into people's responses online, trying to make them happy, whatever. She lost total sight of what she set out to make. And that was a album about heartbreak coming full circle. That's what In Pieces was supposed to be about, right? I'm taking a look at some of the reviews online about this album. Now, we cannot expect Pitchfork to ever have anything good to say about albums, especially when it comes to black artists. They be giving Drake's album bad reviews, like every single Drake album is a bad review. But I'm looking at some of the reviews, and ironically, a lot of the people's reviews, I've listened to the album now 2.5 times. A lot of people's reviews mimic mine, so we of course can't play any of the songs. You can't play any of the songs, but we're gonna go over it. um, so when she comes out the gate, of course, the album comes out the gate with "Pray It Away." It's like a little interlude, and she comes with "Pray It Away," right? So basically, I'm gonna assume for In Pieces, "Pray It Away" is probably a good start because she's like saying, "Okay, I'm having issues with my relationship. I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna give it to God. I'm gonna pray. I'm just gonna have Pray It Away. I'm gonna just hand it over to God, right?" After that is Body Do, because now it starts to tell the story of the relationship. Body Do is basically a song that's wondering what he does, what your partner does when they're not around you. So she says she doesn't trust him. It's a song about, not having trust in the person, probably because of the way they look or what have you, or the way they act out in public. I don't trust you as far as I can F you, what have you. So, like I said, it's a song that a lot of people like. It's upbeat, it's fast, it's a good song for fitness if you want to work out. You know what I mean? That's a good song for that. So it's okay. It's in an okay spot to be, because Someone's Calling is really like it kind of reminds you of the Ungodly Hour openers. How Ungodly Hour, they used to have just like the vocal, just the vocal eye openers. So that's what Someone's Calling is. Um, After Body Do, the song I Don't Mind comes. And once again, it's kind of like a dance floor vibe. It's slow, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a slow type vibe where you can, dance with a partner, close to what have you. Um, Worried, it was a great song as far as the lyrics go. But I'm right in here, 4, 5, and 6. Like I don't mind, worried. Um, those two I wasn't really high on. I don't mind and worried. Falling for you. I like falling for you. Um, a lot of people I'm seeing don't really like that song. Um, I guess it's it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple song, but a lot of people that I'm reading the reviews don't really like it. It comes after that comes with how does it feel? Now this is the Chris Brown song. Now to me, I was contemplating whether I could put whether she should have started off this album with how does it feel. Now Pray the Ways is a pretty good song, but if you're going traditional R&B, usually everyone starts off the album with something that is upbeat. That's most of the time. 90% of the time, or 95% of the time, your album starter is usually something upbeat. A Prayed Away is kind of upbeat once it gets going, but after you say, okay, Prayed Away is there, and then Body Do really starts to tell the story. So once you get to Worried and Falling for You, which he's pretty much giving them another chance, here comes How Does It Feel? And How Does It Feel is really a song about giving that last chance to see if they can make this work. All right? Feel Me Cry comes after that. It's a great transition, from How Does It Feel? Make It Look Easy after that, and that was more like that sound more like 2000 R&B. It's just so I love that. Um, Lose You, it was all right. The harmony was great on it. I mean, the whole album she puts together. Great harmony, of course. I mean, she's a premier vocalist, probably the premier vocalist. Um, Told You is a song with Missy Elliott. I'm not gonna lie to you. Missy Elliott is my favorite female rapper of all time. I was a little underwhelmed. I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to get back the old Missy vibe, right? But it was just something that didn't connect for me. For me, now I'm reading some people's reviews, and they're like, "Oh my God, it gave us Sierra Missy vibes, this, that, the other." It didn't give that to me. And I was really looking for, like, as soon as I got the album, that's the first song I went to. I was very underwhelmed by it. I like Cheatback. Cheatback is an acoustic. It's like a little acoustic version, like an acoustic song with just acoustic guitar. Basically about I don't want to do any damage to you. I don't want to bleach your clothes. I just want to get my cheat back. I want to cheat back. That's it. Um, Heart on My Sleeve. That's another, ballad type song where she's just, the contrast between the intro and the actual song is a great, amazing transition. Um, and then of course, In Pieces, which is the last song on the album, right? Great way to end the album. To me, it is the best song on the album. In my opinion, In Pieces is the best song on the album. And that should have been the single and a video put to it. I know she has a video of her sitting on the piano, but she should have put a video to that. Or if she's sitting on the piano, then you go into what she's thinking about. Because you can sit on the piano, but then they should have went to scenes that she's remembering while she's sitting on the piano. And then after you see those scenes, of her and her man, what have you, the times they spent together, the good times, the arguments, him walking out the door, and then go back to her on the piano. But this all should have been a flashback. That video should have been a flashback of what she was going through. Um, I just want to read a couple of reviews, and I'm really just going to go over the bottom line, and then I'll give you my score. Now, on Beats Per Minute, they said, In Pieces is certainly a memorable listen, and we're left to see what kind of returns this grab bag of radio hits will yield. But it does not answer the central question, what to make of Chloe Bailey. I answered the same thing. Sure, she made a good album, but also an album that sounds like it wants to be a lot more than it is. Despite having released 3 albums with her sister, it feels like a debut more than anything else she's made. Through freer than the critically acclaimed Ungodly Hour, it is also less focused. Her performance rises to greater heights, but her music doesn't always rise with her. Still, it is a work laden with potential, and I have no doubt this is just a step in the journey towards musical greatness that matches the talent that it's already there. So basically, they talk about the same thing I talk about, the talent, but the songs they don't feel always matches the talent. Of course, with the exception of the last song. They said here, Bring It to a Close are the piano-based interludes, Heart on My Sleeve, and the ballad, A Song in Pieces, demands a singer at the level of Chloe Bailey. But I dare say a singer at the level of Chloe Bailey doesn't demand a song like In Pieces. It's not impossible that Bailey really wanted to make a song like this, but such a by-the-books ballad and pop album reeks of box ticking in the run from Feel Me Cry to Lose You. Proves Bailey can deliver emotional vulnerability and vocal dexterity without sacrificing compelling musicality. Okay, so their rating was a 74. Of course, Pitchfork only gave it a 60. I read another review where they gave it a 8.9 out of 10. My review on the Chloe Bailey In Pieces album, if it's a 5-star rating, I give it a 3, which is a good album. 3 stars out of 5 is a good album. I didn't really. This is where what I could have dealt without, and I get it. Chloe Bailey is partially Sasha Fierce. Already turned like, how Beyonce had to become Sasha Fierce in order to do certain songs, so she can blame that on Sasha Fierce. But Chloe Bailey, part of her persona is Sasha Fierce, already turned into Sasha Fierce. You understand what I'm saying? So she's gonna go off on a dude. She's gonna make a song like Pray It Away. F N word, F N word, F N word. You know what I mean? Just a lot of songs mentioning the F N word. And a lot of that I could have dealt without. Like when people say, "Oh, she's not being herself," we don't know who she's trying to be or what have you. I'm not going to really say that as far as the provocative or the sexuality goes, because if you watch Chloe and Holly through the years, you can tell that this is what Chloe was working up to be. Right? You could already tell. And everyone that watches him knows that Chloe's always been a little bit more promiscuous. She's always wore her clothes a little bit tighter around the booty than Holly. She's always been the one to do the most profanity, more profanity than Holly. So we've seen this coming from her. But as far as the talking, the F word, that's what I get to me, it gives off like, she don't talk like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's the only part that I feel as though I could have dealt without all of the F N word, this N word ain't S, and I could have dealt with that so much, and I would have enjoyed the album, more. And all in all, The vocals, like I said, she is the premier vocalist today. You can have anybody you want. You can have Summer Walker. You can have who else is out there? Ella May. Who else? SZA. Mooney Long. Whoever. Give me Chloe Bailey as far as vocals. I'll take Chloe Bailey on vocals, and guess what? I'm gonna beat you every time. I'm gonna beat you every time. Now, to me, the album is not as good. Of course, it's nowhere near as good as SZA's, and it's probably not as good as Summer's album. To me, she sings way better than Summer, but the album probably isn't as good as Summer Walker's album. But like I said, if it's a 5-star rating, I'm gonna give it a 3. If it is a 10-star rating, I'm gonna give it a 7. And if we're rating up to 100, I'm gonna give it like a 75, 76 out of 100. There's maybe 4 songs out of 14. I'm saying 5 now that I could deal without. And I did not like the Missy Elliott collaboration. But that's just me. Y'all give it a listen. Like I said, Chloe Bailey came to with a good album. If you can get a 7 out of 10, that's a pretty good album. All right, so we're going to see what everyone else says about it. Vocal-wise, 10. Nobody better right now in the game. And she produced and executive produced all the songs except for 2. So props to her for that. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood. This is the IE Network.